Hello, my name is Joy Lambert, and I'm the Child and Adolescent Studies Librarian at Pollock Library. This video will be a review of the CAS 301 APA PsycInfo exercise. As CAS majors, APA PsycInfo will be a database that will be very helpful to you in your research across many classes. For the purpose of the exercise, we are being asked to find articles that discuss the effects of dual immersion education on the language development of school-aged children. We need to find empirical articles that have been published within the last 10 years. Thankfully, APA PsycInfo has some great tools that can help us find what we need. First, let's go to the database. Steps 1 through 4 tell us how to do that. Please go to library.fullerton.edu and click on the Databases icon. Next, use the All Subjects drop-down menu to select Child and Adolescent Studies. Click on APA PsycInfo to get to the database. If you're off campus, you'll be asked to proxy in. Now that we're in the database, we can start our search. Although some of the tools we can use are available before the search, I like to start broadly. So I'm just going to start with a keyword search and then use the tools after I get my results. Research databases are not like Google, so we can't type in a question. We need to pick keywords out of our question or prompt and put those into the database to search. So I'm going to follow steps 5 through 7, and I'm going to enter dual immersion, in the first box, and language development in the second, and then click search. How many results do you have? And now, as step 8 asks us to do, take a look through the results. Do any of these articles meet your research need? This list is a little small in my opinion, and that can definitely happen as you start your research. As the next section mentions, sometimes we have to broaden our searches to find articles that better meet our research needs. We can use Boolean connectors to help us. Step 10 asks us to add or bilingual education to the first box, and then or language acquisition or language learning to the second. You will see that the database will make suggestions of synonyms to help you broaden your search as soon as you type or. Now, as step 11 asks us to do, click search. How many results do you have? Step 12 asks us to take a look through these results. This list is much more robust and will hopefully have the information we need. Now we can start to use the tools the database has to offer to refine our results and find articles that meet the other criteria of our assignment and are closer to what we're looking for. All of these tools can be found in the left margin. Step 14 asks us to check the box for peer-reviewed articles. These are articles that are reviewed by other experts in the field before they are published, and they are reliable sources of information. Step 15 asks us to scroll down and open the methodology limiter. Here you can select empirical study. Empirical studies are articles that discuss in detail original research studies that were done. As CAS majors, you will have assignments that require you to do this, so please remember that APA PsycInfo is going to be your most efficient way to find those empirical articles. Next, step 16 asks us to use the date range filter to narrow to articles published within the last 10 years. And finally, step 17 asks us to open the menu for the age filter and select school-aged children. How many results do you have now? This database also gives us tools to narrow our results by subject. Every article in the database has subject headings assigned to it to help describe what it is about and also to give us a way to refine our results by subject. Step 18 asks us to open the Subject Major Heading tool. And then step 19 asks us to click Show More. Here you see a list of the subject headings assigned to the articles in the list of results. You can see that there are many to choose from. Step 21 asks us to select bilingual education and language development, and then click Update. How many results do you have now? The next section of the exercise is a note to let us know that sometimes during the process of using filters, APA PsycInfo can remove some of them. No one knows why this happens, and it doesn't happen every time, but just to be sure, keep an eye on your filters. If you look at the top left margin, you will see all of the filters that have been applied. If there are certain ones you need to have, like peer-reviewed articles or empirical articles, etc., Step 23 reminds us to take a look to make sure they are all still being applied. If they aren't, you can just put them back on using the tools in the left margin. All right, the next section of the exercise is about evaluating our results. We need to look through to see which articles will be most helpful in our research. Because we've used the filters, these articles should meet the criteria of the assignment and be closer in subject to what we are looking for. Step 24 asks us to click on the title of any article in the result list to see the information about the article. This is also called the record for the article. Step 25 mentions that all of the important information about the article, including the pieces you'll need to build your citation and the abstract of the article, are contained in the record. Also contained in the record are other database tools. Step 26 asks us if there is a tool for generating an APA citation for the article. Yes, there is. And when you click on it, you can scroll through examples of how to cite this article in different citation styles, including APA 7th edition. Students often get very excited about this. However, the citation the database generates is never 100% correct. Use this example as a starting point and refer to your APA citation manual or another resource like Purdue OWL to make any necessary changes to make it correct. Step 27 asks us to click on Result List or the back arrow to return to our list of results. Once we find an article or articles we would like to read and use for our research, we need to track down the full text of those articles. The next sections of the exercise are all about doing just that. Step 28 mentions how we can determine if the full text is available in APA PsycInfo. Look for the PDF icon. From there, you can download the PDF directly, or you can email it to yourself. Sometimes the full text won't be available in the database you are searching, but it might be available in another library database. Step 29 tells us a way to find out if it is by clicking on Find It at Pollock Library. And Step 30 tells us if it is in another database, there will be a link. Follow that link to the full text. The majority of the time, the full text of your articles will likely be available in a library database. However, sometimes they are not. At this point, you would need to use interlibrary loan to get them. Interlibrary loan is the sharing of books and articles between libraries. If, after you click Find It at Pollock Library, you see a button that reads Sign in for more options, that means the full text isn't in a library database and you need to get it from another library. Step 31 asks us to click on that button. After signing in with your portal login info, follow the instructions of how to get the full text of the article. ILLiad is a service that the library uses for interlibrary loan. If that is how you are prompted to request the full text of the article, you can set up your ILLiad account as Step 33 mentions. And then Step 34 also mentions that you can set up your ILLiad account on your own if you choose to by going to the library's homepage, hovering over Borrow, and going to My ILLiad Login. One last thing to point out about APA PsycInfo is the search history. APA PsycInfo keeps track of the searches you have done, how you have built them, and the results for each search. This can be helpful if you're doing a lot of different searches or searching multiple databases. Step 35 asks you to return to your list of results. From there, Step 36 asks you to click on Search History under the search boxes. This will show you the searches you have done in reverse chronological order, any limiters or search options you have used, and the number of results for each search. And finally, Step 37 asks you to record the number of searches you have done for the session. Congratulations, you're now an APA PsycInfo Pro. Best of luck in your research!